Hi, this is Jules. This is another Forest Walk and Chat, so feel free to use it like a podcast. Today I'm going to attempt to define learning, and in doing so, I'm also going to address the definition of knowledge. I think I would define learning as integrating new knowledge. If you've integrated some new knowledge such that it is now yours, I would say that you have successfully learned it. So then, what is knowledge? One way to approach this is to look at a couple of different kinds of knowledge. There's secondhand knowledge, the kind that you get from reading books, listening to teachers, and watching YouTube videos. And then there's firsthand knowledge, or experiential knowledge, the stuff you experience yourself. The feeling of acquiring firsthand knowledge is often that of discovery. As a simple example, consider knowing how to get to the nearest library. You could say that you know how to get there because someone told you how to get there. That's secondhand knowledge. Or you could say that you know how to get to the library because you've been there yourself, and that's firsthand knowledge. Here's a more salient example for this channel. Consider knowing that there are layers of reality outside of manifested reality. You could say that you know that there are other layers of reality because I've told you about my experiences with them. That would be secondhand knowledge. Or you could say that you know that there are other layers of reality because you've experienced them for yourself. That's firsthand knowledge. Here are some characteristics of secondhand knowledge, as I see them. It's often hard to remember. You only see it from the outside, so you don't fully understand it, and it's very easy to misinterpret it. It tends to leave you feeling a bit insecure because it isn't secure. It's very shaky ground to build on top of. And it doesn't really change you. Either you passively accept it as true because it already fits your existing beliefs, or you reject it out of hand because it doesn't, or you remain agnostic about it and keep it at arm's length. None of these options results in growth. You stay safely the same as you were before. First-hand knowledge, on the other hand, is imprinted in you. It's much easier to remember because you were there. You understand it from the inside out. It's good, solid ground to build on top of, so it leaves you feeling confident. And this is the kind of knowledge that can actually change your beliefs. It can transform you from the inside. Plato, in his dialogue Meno, took the stance that only first-hand knowledge actually counts as knowledge, that you don't really know something until you know it firsthand. I tend to agree with Plato on this. I believe that learning changes you. Anytime you really integrate new knowledge, your makeup is now different and you are now changed. On the other hand, if you think you've learned something but it hasn't actually changed anything for you, then I would say that you haven't really learned anything. You've either not fully integrated the new knowledge and made it yours, or the knowledge isn't really anything new for you. You have instead simply confirmed what you already knew. So then that would mean that learning is more specifically integrating new first-hand knowledge. I actually really like this definition, but for the sake of covering our bases, let's say that we accept that there are two kinds of learning to correspond to the two kinds of knowledge. So you can acquire secondhand knowledge. I might call this passive learning. In other words, passively acquiring secondhand knowledge. Most learning in our current conventional education system is passive learning. Attending lectures, reading books, memorizing facts and formulas that have been handed to you. Or you can acquire first-hand knowledge, and I would call this active learning. Trying out and experiencing things for yourself, or contemplating things for yourself and coming to your own conclusions. And now here's the trick. You can use active learning to turn secondhand knowledge into firsthand knowledge. You can try out the secondhand knowledge for yourself, kick the tires, run the experiment for yourself, see if you get the same results, then change something and run the experiment again and see how the results change. Or contemplate the idea for yourself, poke at it from all the angles, looking for all the holes, examine the meanings of the component terms, run thought experiments, look for edge cases, that sort of thing. When you do this with secondhand knowledge, it becomes firsthand knowledge for you. It becomes yours. You fully understand it from the inside out. You know what is not true about it, and you've let that part go. And you know what is true about it, and you've taken that on as yours now. And with that true part, you are now a lot less likely to forget it. And it can change your beliefs. You can come out of the learning transformed. Usually when I refer to learning, I'm talking about active learning, whether that's experiencing pure firsthand knowledge or acquiring secondhand knowledge and then turning it into firsthand knowledge. So thus far, I seem to have been only talking about the conscious mind. What about other ways of knowing? For example, when you download knowledge directly from your higher self. Is that firsthand knowledge or secondhand knowledge? Or something else? I actually plan to do a video about the different ways of knowing, but for now, I'll just say that all ways of knowing can be categorized as either firsthand knowledge or secondhand knowledge. So you can download knowledge directly from your higher self, but the relationship that you have with that knowledge could be as firsthand knowledge or it could be as secondhand knowledge. An easy way to tell which one it is how it impacts you. Is it difficult to remember? Then it's probably secondhand knowledge. Or is it immediately present for you without having to try to remember it? Does it feel like it's part of you, something you know or experience from the inside? Do you have a sense of certainty about it, even if you can't explain it? Has it changed you to have this kind of knowledge? Then it is probably firsthand knowledge, regardless of its source. So I hope that was helpful. The concepts in this video are fairly foundational concepts. I'm going to be probably referring to this video in future videos. So I hope that it was clear, and if anything wasn't clear, of course, feel free to ask questions in the comments below. Until next time.